Welcome to tonight's Village Board meeting. Would you please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call, please.
This evening, we will be starting with Trustee McClafferty.
Here.
Shaughnessy.
Here.
Snagowski.
Here.
Stapleton, absent. Forsley.
Here.
Kittredge. Here.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Next up, we have the consent agenda, which consists of the following. First off, we have the approval of minutes from the Committee of Whole from September 15th, as well as the Village Board meeting on September 22nd. We have approval of disbursements from September 23rd through October 13th, as well as October 14th through October 29th. We have an ordinance O-49-25 authorizing the sale and disposal of surplus village property. We have a resolution R-71-25 approving a memorandum of understanding with the United States Capitol Police. We have a resolution R-72-25 providing for the destruction of certain verbatim recordings of closed session meetings. We have a resolution R-73-25 reviewing the need for confidentiality of closed session meetings. We have a resolution R-74-25 to authorize the village administrator to approve contributions to monthly premiums and reserve balances. We have a resolution R-75-25 approving a code compliance grant for the October 2025 cycle in Lamont, Illinois. We have a resolution R-76-25 authorizing the purchase of rock salt for the 2025-26 season. We have a resolution R-77-25 approving the I&M Canal CSO Outfall 002 baffle wall. And we have a resolution R-78-25 reducing a letter of credit for Marble Landing relating to Beechin and Dill. I need a motion, please.
So moved.
We have a motion by Trustee Snagowski, seconded by Trustee Kittredge. Any questions or comments from the trustees? Roll call, please.
McClafferty.
Yes.
Shaughnessy.
Yes.
Snagowski.
Yes.
Stapleton, absent. Forsley.
Yes.
Kittredge.
Yes.
Okay, motion approved. All right, next up, we have a very special evening. Unfortunately, 6 weeks ago tonight, Lamont lost a very, very good friend. I call her the matriarch of Lamont. Very sad. But tonight we recognize Barb Bushman, who meant obviously a great deal to our village. Barb was a driving force in our community. Her passion, dedication, and countless contributions have left a lasting impact that will be felt for years to come. Whether through her involvement in historic preservation, volunteering efforts, or serving on numerous boards and commissions, she made our town definitely a better place. Barb and her husband, Don, a village native, moved to an apartment at 504 Singer Avenue in Lamont after getting married in 1959, and later had 2 children who are here with us tonight, Michael and Amy. Michael and Amy, thank you again for coming out, and again, we think the world of your mom. Her volunteering efforts in the Lamont community began with Lamont scouting organizations that included the Brownies, the Girl Scouts, Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, band boosters, and the PTA, and she was an active member of the American Legion Auxiliary as well. And I'm warning everyone right now, Barb did so much, this is gonna go on for a while. That's how much she did. We're gonna go back to the 1970s. After the village purchased the I&M Canal, Barb was selected to be one of the key leaders on the I&M Canal Commission, managing all the building and home leases along the canal for many years. When a committee was formed to save the old Central School from the wrecking ball, Barb stepped up and took a leadership role, and the school was purchased and renovated by a family. They turned this into beautiful condos overlooking the town. In 1971, Barb led as editor-in-chief to publish the 1873 to 1973 Lamont Centennial book, capturing 100 years of Lamont history. Taking 2 years to complete, Barb was quoted in the quote-unquote Let's Talk series as saying, "I feel of all things that I have done, this gift I gave to the village of Lamont makes me the most proudest." Through a proclamation, the theme of the centennial celebration was to be known as Lamont, Illinois, as the Village of Faith. 25 years later, Barb and a committee presented the second historic book commemorating the 125th anniversary of the Village of Lamont. Again, this was from 1873 to now 1998. In her letter from the editor in this book, she writes, "The torch is being passed to the next generation of volunteer historians to record what time may have in store for Lamont, the Village of Faith. And we know she is still waiting for someone to write that 150th anniversary book." In 1976, the Bicentennial Commission was formed, and Barb and the committee were instrumental in commissioning the Stonecutters mural by Carol Yasko that takes center stage in the Bugnut Plaza today. Winning her first election for village board trustee in 1981, Barb served as trustee for 16 years. Barb was also the first woman in Lamont history to run for the office of mayor. She did that in 1993. Barb's passion for preservation and history ran deep, and she served on the Lamont Area Historical Society Board for many years. She was on the committee that spearheaded the renovation of the museum, being quoted in the Chicago Tribune newspaper article as saying, "You have to preserve the building so you can keep the history." A historic preservation committee was formed in the year 2001, protecting Lamont's older structures and character in the historic district. And with Barb and the commission's perseverance, after 3 attempts, Lamont finally made it on the National Register of Historic Places in the year 2016. Barb again was quoted in the Chicago Tribune in the article on November 26, 2000 as saying, "We're not fighting against malls anymore," she said. "We're specialty stores, restaurants, and historic ambience. Shoppers, visitors, and property owners want the ambiance of an old downtown area." I could definitely say that still stands today for sure. And in 2015, Barb, as the Historic Preservation Commission chair, and several others were instrumental in saving the St. James Academy building, which was built in 1883 on Illinois Street, which the Archdiocese of Chicago eventually agreed to put this historic building up for sale. And today, it's a beautiful example of adaptive reuse as a fully restored apartment building. Barb served many years on the village of Lamont, including the Downtown Development and Festival Committee, as chair of the Historic Preservation Commission and the Lamont Police Pension Commission. She was elected the Lamont Township Clerk in 2005, just before retiring here in 2025. She served as trustee on the Lamont High School Board and the Lamont Brown Barrack School District 113A Board. Barb was honored in the 2001 as the Lamont Area Chamber of Commerce Citizen of the Year, one of the highest honors for a resident of Lamont, for her can-do approach in helping make Lamont one of the best places to live in the Chicago area. A member and past secretary of the Lamont Lions Club, she received the Lions of Illinois Foundation Fellowship Award and the Melvin Jones Fellowship Award. She also received the following: Sheriff's Senior Medal of Honor, Lamont Chamber of Commerce Women of Distinction Award, the Lamont High School Foundation Award of Excellence, the Governor's Illinois Woman of Achievement Award. She was a Grand Marshal of the Keep It Tall Day Parade and was nominated as a local community leader in the Patch in 2023. Barb's faith was evident, and she was a longtime member of the St. Patrick's Parish. And we all know how much she loved to dance and was president of the Chicago South Jitterbug Club for many years. Now, these are the things we know of, and I'm sure there are much more. From a newspaper image in Let's Chat book regarding her retirement as village trustee, Barb is quoted as simply saying, "I never expected a badge or even a cigar. I just wanted to do a good job for the entire community, and I hope I've done that." I think it'd be a very hard argument to find anyone more dedicated and passionate as a contributor whose impact has been felt by so many of us here in Lamont. Barb, as I always say, you have not done a good job. She's not done a great job. She's done a fantastic job for our town and our community of Lamont. And your friendship, commitment, warmth, and generosity will always be greatly missed. Barb will never be forgotten for everything she gave to Lamont. And with this, I, Johnny Gofsky, Mayor of Lamont, on behalf of the entire village board and staff, we're going to go down here soon, we're going to dedicate her a street name, an honorary street name called the Barb Bushman Way. But again, Barb, we love her. I'm going to miss her, but she'll never be forgotten. And, God bless her. And again, want to thank the family. Again, our thoughts and prayers are with you. But she was a heck of a woman, and she still is. And I know all of us here, we are indebted to her. She has impacted so many of us, and, just a beautiful person, not only on the outside, but the inside as well.
Do we have that? Yeah, it's right down. Okay. Yep, right down. You can stand on the table.
And of course, we're not done yet honoring Barb. We got two very special speakers. First up, I'd like to introduce Rick Kwasniewski, former mayor of Lamont. Rick, do you want to come up and say a couple of words, please?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Very glad and honored to be here tonight. Barb was a special person, and her and I served as trustees for many years, sparred on many things, but we were always friends. When we both decided to run for mayor, there were three people, but Barb and I would trade barbs every once in a while, but not barbs, but I guess that's a pun, right? Anyway, one of the things out there was that she would always say, "I've been in town longer than you've been alive." And I would always say, "Well, you're not a lifer, Barb, because you weren't born and raised here." And so, it was something that we always kidded each other about, but I can tell you right now, I was mistaken. Barb was definitely a lifer. Not because of how many years that she lived in Lamont or that she was not born or that she was born in Lamont, but it's because she lived for Lamont. And she did that with everything that she participated in. The mayor highlighted so many things I forgot about, to tell you the truth. Her dedication to history in Lamont is just unbelievable. And I don't think there's anyone else that participated in so many things that affect our town in the way of keeping history alive. Mayor Maragowski talked about the books that she wrote. I brought one of them with me here today, the 125th. They are available at the Historical Society. I encourage everyone to buy one in Barb's honor, because anyone who lives in Lamont should read this. It's phenomenal. It tells a story about families. It tells a story about so many businesses, churches, everything that's in Lamont. And she worked so hard on both of those books and was so very proud of that. And we were proud of her. Just, you know, we would always see each other, and we would always talk about the old days, about some of the other trustees and mayors. And it's something that I always treasured. And every time I seen her, we always had some old stories and we would laugh about it. But I'll never forget her. She was so close, you know, to so many people in Lamont, and I feel so close to me that it's hard to believe it's only 6 weeks ago, because I feel like I haven't seen her in a long time now. But we love her, we love you guys, and so happy to be here tonight to honor her.
Thanks, Rick. We actually have two more additional speakers. We also have Mr. Mike Shackle, our Lamont Township Supervisor.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. It's an honor also to be here, as Rick noted as well. We're represented from Lamont Township by our Administrator, Mario Mola. I just want to point him out, Dave Molitor, trustee, our township clerk, new township clerk, who Barb and Amy worked with quite a bit, and probably Mike as well, as she was getting up and running. And we have our, last but not least, our former trustee here, Jeanette Virgilio, everybody knows. And obviously Jeanette they also remember Jeanette's contributions to this village board for a very long time. It's kind of funny, Rick, you talk about your mayor's race. I think I heard more about your mayor's race from Barb than I did about most presidential races. So I feel like I know that pretty intimately. And Sam, you don't escape either. I was at a closing with Nick this morning, and we were talking about stories about your father and Barb, because I was telling Nick about tonight's adventure. So I just kind of want to mention those things too. John, I mean, I don't know what more I could say about Barb, other than maybe some of the more personal things or the funny things that we all knew about Barb. I mean, you pretty much outlined everything that Barb has done for our community. I mean, she was a big help to me as I became a township supervisor, and Barb was a very thoughtful advisor to me at times. And you know, I got a few Mike Shackle, are you crazy? Type things from Barb as well, and we love Barb at the township. In fact, I'm wearing this jacket tonight just as a side note. Typical Barb fashion. See, my wife hates this sports coat, but Barb one night leaned over to me while we were in a meeting, and she goes, "Mike, you look very handsome in that sport coat." So I wore this in honor of Barb tonight. Again, John, you did a great job of outlining her accomplishments. You know, we miss her, and we got to know Barb's family, Amy and Mike, very well over the last several months of her tenure on the township, as things became a little more difficult, as we all know, for her. And again, we appreciate what you guys did in helping her help us at the township. Yeah, she was going to finish that. She was going to finish that term. Just lastly, just again, we miss you, Barb. We look forward to seeing you one day again. And thank you for being the treasure to our community. So,
Thanks, Mike. And next up, we have the first Vice President, Lamont Area Historical Society, Mr. John Quinn.
All right, I'm not much of a speaker like you politicians, but I'm going to give it a try.
We take offense to that, being called a politician.
When I was asked to say a few words about Barb, I wondered how I could possibly honor such a remarkable woman. And then it came to me, 4 simple words: what can I do? I believe Barb woke up every day with that question in her heart. What can I do to help my family, lift them up a rung on the ladder of life, or simply help them to hold on and when the climb is hard? What can I do to stand with friends and neighbors, celebrating their joys and studying them through whatever life brings? What can I do for the people of Lamont to make their days a little better? What can I do to make our village a place where we live and laugh often? What can I do to save and preserve the history of this great town? What can I do to help all Lamonters celebrate life in the community we love? I will miss her smile and her laugh. I like to imagine she and Rosie Yates are having a good laugh at us right about now. They were very close. And rest in peace, Barb. Job well done.
Yep. One more picture.
We don't even try to fill those shoes. My mom was a great mom. 2 things come to mind. One is that darn downtown, why it never was what it is now, and we always told her it takes another generation. So I think her work really paid off. And the other is, as you read that long list of things, my dad would always say, "You think they could pay you for some of those things that you're doing?" But we're just so humbled, and we love this community. I don't live here anymore, but my brother does, and it's always home for us. So thank you so much.
Again, thank you so much, and God bless you. All right, under the mayor's report, next up, we are going to need a motion to approve. We have the list of Lamont Commission members. Before I ask for the motion, these are for all the members. Again, this is listed in the packet. All the members, we got about 50 names, so I will hold off mentioning each individual name, but this is Lamont Commission members for the Art and Culture Commission, for the Environmental Commission, for the Historic Commission, for the Liquor Commission, for the Planning and Zoning Commission, and the Police Pension Board Commission. I need a motion to approve the members, please.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Stapleton, seconded by trustee Kittredge. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. Members are appointed. And again, want to thank all of our commission members. They are truly volunteers, and they do an excellent job. They provide the intel, the feedback, the backdrop for many of the decisions we make here as a board. So really appreciate all their hard work. Again, this is always volunteer, and a lot of times those board meetings aren't a lot of fun, but you know, they do it on behalf of the village, and we want to thank all of them. So if you ever see them, please reach out and say thank you.
We have to take a voice for it.
Do we need a voice? Okay.
You can just do a voice for that.
All right, we'll do a voice approval for,
This motion.
roll call for this approval of the members.
We just do a
Go
voice
ahead.
for it, yeah. For the motion to accept his recommendation. No. Oh.
Yeah,
Yes, there
yeah,
was.
We all did,
Okay, we
all
got a
ayes.
vote. We got a
Yeah,
vote.
I made the motion.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
We didn't
did
take
a
a vote on
voice.
it.
we did, okay.
Yeah,
All right, we're done.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
We did?
Yep.
No, we didn't. We did.
I'll say aye.
We did it
Aye.
before you.
Still aye.
Done it before
Go
you
ahead,
did the
you know
motion.
what, go ahead, Charlie.
You know,
No, we're done,
Charlie,
we're done.
Be aye, aye.
I go for this. Let's do it again.
all right.
No, let's not.
All in favor, say aye.
Okay.
Any opposed, say nay. The motion
All right, but
carries.
that's
All
Let me
right.
Write this down again.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Next up, we have the mayor's mention. So, again, got quite a few things going on downtown. The Monster Days are wrapping up. This Friday is Halloween, so I want to wish everyone happy Halloween in advance. And there are a few tricks and treats still happening. Hope and Friendship Treat for the Lamont Food Pantry's collection continues through this Friday. Help fill the pantry shelves by dropping off treats in the bins inside the Lamont Police Department entry or at the pantry drop-off by the Jewel Customer Service Department. Visit lamonsterdays.com for a list of items. Also, the Lamont Manor Home Decorating Contest. Top 3 winners were announced today by the Lamont Park District. Please visit their Facebook page for an address list of the ghoulishly decorated homes and take a drive around town to check them all out. Again, we appreciate everyone's interest in that. Also, the Jack-O-Lantern World at the Forge. Lamont Quarries continues Thursday through November 1st with thousands of jack-o'-lanterns and themes. It's quite a sight, so please check that out. Please visit forgeparks.com to purchase your ticket time or purchase at the park. Also, we wish everyone a very happy and safe Halloween. Again, Village trick-or-treat hours. Everyone, write this down. Your trick-or-treat hours are from 3 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And again, driving around on Friday, please use extra caution while driving on Halloween night. Please slow down, stay alert, and help keep our little ghosts and goblins safe as they enjoy the night. Again, do we typically go with put your light on if you're actually giving out candy? I think that's kind of the,
Yes, sir. Front porch light on if
Yeah.
if you're intending to give out candy.
yeah, again, keep your porch light on if you're intending to give out candy. And as a reminder, this coming Sunday, it's fall back time. So we're turning our clocks back 1 hour. Again, that's, I think, 2 in the morning on Sunday, actually. So don't forget, we're falling back. And again, just want to reiterate our condolences to the Barb Bushman family. Again, like I said earlier, we love her to death and we're going to miss her. With that being said, next up, we have the clerk's report.
Okay. The first item I have this evening is an ordinance, O-50-25, and this is granting final plan unit development, PUD, approval for the Silver Cross Medical Office redevelopment at 3.05 acres located at 15505 127th Street, East 127th Street in Lamont.
Okay, need a motion, please.
Second?
All right, we have a motion by trustee McClafferty, seconded by trustee Forsley. Jason, are you taking this, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. As mentioned, this is the final plan unit development approval for Silver Cross. We're grateful for their investment in the community. They're building a new state-of-the-art facility on their site at 127th Street that'll include urgent care and imaging and other services that they don't currently offer in Lamont. The final PUD is in conformance of the preliminary plan unit development and was recommended by the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Thanks, Jason. Okay, with that being said, roll call, please.
McClafferty?
Yes.
Shaughnessy?
Yes.
Snagowski?
Yes.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Forsley?
Yes.
Kittredge?
Okay, motion approved, and just a side note to that, Jason, again, this is going to be, the new outfit's going to be a minute, not a minute clinic, but a.
Urgent care.
Urgent care, yeah, thank you for that, along with film and x-rays as well. And just to be clear, so the current building will remain open
That's correct.
as they build the new structure. And then I think we had the grand opening a week or two ago. It sounds like they're hoping to be open next year around this time. So again, just keep that in mind. With that being said, I'm sorry, go ahead,
Okay.
Charlene.
I have another ordinance, O-51-25, and this is amending Title 13 Public Utilities and Title 17 Unified Development Ordinance of the Municipal Code of the Village of Lamont.
Okay, need a motion, please.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Snagowski, seconded by trustee Forsley. Jason?
Yes. These are amendments to our Unified Development Ordinance and Village Code, or UDO, that were heard by the Planning and Zoning Commission back in September and the Committee of the Whole that same month. These are all related to engineering details. Each one of these amendments was recommended by the acting village engineer, Bruce Hill. They include water service taps, new procedures to reduce letter of credit, requirements to submit digital as-built to the village, updates to LED lighting for residential lighting in subdivisions, updates to our wet detention ponds, and requirements to show 100-year floodplains. Again, these were recommended for approval by the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Thanks, Jason. Any questions, comments by the trustees? All right, roll call, please.
Okay, McClafferty?
Yes.
Shaughnessy?
Yes.
Snagowski?
Yes.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Forsley?
Yes.
And Kittredge?
Yes.
All right, motion approved.
The next ordinance is O-52-25, and this is amending the Lamont Municipal Code, Chapter 5.04, liquor licenses. And this is to issue a Class A3 liquor license for Capri Express.
Okay, need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Stapleton, seconded by trustee McClafferty. Any questions or comments on this?
Just
Go ahead,
that this
George.
is a new liquor license for Capri Express. This went through the commission back in July. It was just delayed due to a non-compliant sign, but now they're fully in compliance, so it could come through the board now for approval.
Okay, thanks, George. All right. Any,
Pardon me?
Just have to
I-
leave
you're-
trustee.
yeah.
I wasn't going to call you.
any other comments, questions? Okay, roll call, please.
McClafferty?
Yes.
Shaughnessy?
Abstain.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Kittredge?
Nagowski, yes.
Snagowski.
Yes.
Oh, didn't I call you?
No.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay.
Better call,
counted you.
make it official.
Okay, Snagowski.
Yes.
All right,
Good.
motion approved. All right.
Okay, and we have another one. This is a resolution, R-79-25, and this is approving the 2025 I&I Improvements Program.
Okay, need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion by trustee McClafferty, seconded by trustee Shaughnessy. George?
Yep, I'll handle this for Ralph today. 2 proposals were received for the village's I&I improvement project for this year. And they were proposals due to our original bid, receiving 0 bidders this year, but we did receive 2 proposals after the fact. The low bidder came in at, low bidder for the proposal came in at $119,996, which checked out and is still under budget. So Staff recommends approval of the contract.
All right, thanks, George. Any other questions, comments? Roll call, please.
McClafferty?
Yes.
Shaughnessy?
Yes.
Snagowski?
Yes.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Forsley? Yes. Kittredge?
Motion approved.
The next item is a resolution also, R-80-25, and this is approving an award of a contract for the Old Lamont Road Bridge improvements.
Okay, need a motion, please. Okay, we have a motion by trustee Kittredge, seconded by trustee Shaughnessy. George, you want to take this?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Part of the village's capital plan, 3 bids were received on October 17th for the Old Lamont Road Bridge Improvement Project. In the amount of $102,842 was low bid. Austin Tyler Construction came in with the low bid amount, which was within budget, and should be a pretty simple project, not a very complex contract, and it shouldn't be any shutdown, or it should move forward pretty quickly by the end of the year.
End of the year? Okay, great.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? All right, roll call, please.
Okay. McClafferty?
Yes.
Shaughnessy?
Yes.
Snagowski?
Yes.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Forsley?
Yes.
Kittredge?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Okay. The next is also a resolution, and this is Resolution -80-25. And this is approving an award of a contract for the Old Lamont Bridge. We just did that.
Yep, yeah. Next one. yeah.
Okay. And my last one is also a resolution, R-81-25, and this is approving professional services agreement between H.R. Green Incorporated and the Village of Lamont, Illinois for the fiscal year 2026, water main improvements, construction, engineering.
Okay, need a motion, please. All right, we have a motion by trustee Shaughnessy, seconded by trustee Forsley. George, you going to take this one?
Yep, thank you, Mr. Mayor. We approved the 2026 water main improvement construction contract last month, and this is the engineering contract with H.R. Green for not to exceed amount or $52,000 for the construction engineering. And the construction project will begin next week and should be completed by January, weather permitting.
Awesome, thanks, George. Any questions or comments by the trustees? Yes, go ahead, Tim.
I had the opportunity to take a tour of Public Works about 2 months ago, and I just want everybody to know that the technology they have down there, keeping our water safe, keeping our water pumped so we can live comfortably and be safe. I just want to give them some credit for what they do, and let everybody know that the water we drink, as the mayor said at our last meeting, is much healthier than the Lake Michigan water. So just keep that in mind, that we do have safe water. They do a great job making sure that it's pure and clean for us to consume, and appreciate what they do down there for all their hard work.
Thanks, Sam. And just to piggyback off that, we've talked several times in open meetings about this, but again, not, all the residents, we realize, watch these meetings. But just to reiterate, not only the quality of the water, again, we have deep wells. Our wells are 1,500 feet below bedrock. Our wells are not rejuvenated by water any time in our lifetime. I think it takes 100 years to get the water back down there. So our water quality is excellent compared to others. We talked a little bit about the last time about Lake Michigan. What we've done is, especially with Grand Prairie, which is Joliet, and several other communities, that pipe is coming through our town. We have DePage Water, if we so wish to try and connect. There's Bedford Park. We're working on a possible, at least looking at the engineering to connecting to that. There's the Oak Lawn line just down the road, and American Water as well. So it seems like Lamont is like at the crossing roads of all these Chicago water pipes. And one of the things that we've done over the last probably 2.5 years ago, we did a a study of all the water rates. And when we talk about water rates, you have to look at water and sewer when you look at the bills at neighboring towns. And we looked at, I think, 40 communities, neighboring communities. By far, Lamont has the lowest water rate, and it's not even close. And I know someone made a comment last time, hey, I'll pay more for Lake Michigan water. Well, when we're talking more, we're talking, you know, there are going to be bills with Joliet just to hook on. Just for, before they get one drop of water, they're gonna be paying $200 every single water bill. So when we're talking about water bills, you know, it's potentially going to Lake Michigan could be 3 or 4-fold. And, you know, a lot of people, me included, I don't want to be paying that water bill. So again, want to thank Public Works. They do an excellent job with our deep wells. The quality of it's awesome. We're very lucky. We're only one of 2 other communities. I think Western Springs is probably the only other community that's going to stay on the deep wells. I know Joliet would like to, but they're on a different fault line. They're on our same aquifer, but they're on the wrong side. Their side is actually running out of water. We've done our study. We've talked about this before. We've been told we're good for 70 to 80 years, but we'll continue to pursue other potential backups. It's always good to have a good insurance policy. It's always good to have our allocation for Lake Michigan, and we're doing that as well. So I know that got brought up at the last meeting, but just want to reiterate kind of the history and the thought, you know, the thoughts and the work that has gone into that. A lot of time, people, if you're not at that meeting, you don't understand kind of what we've talked about. But just want to give a little backdrop. So.
We're not exactly sacrificing price for quality.
Right, exactly. So again, why we got better quality at probably a third of the price. If you have any friends or neighbors that are in Burr Ridge or Homer Glen, ask them what their bill is. They would. It's like 4 or 5-fold of what ours is. So anyway, so with
Still need a vote
yeah.
on the contract.
yeah, go ahead. Need a vote, please.
Okay, McClafferty?
Yes.
Shaughnessy?
Yes.
Snagowski?
Yes.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Forsley?
Yes.
Kittredge?
Yes.
Okay, motion approved.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Charlene. Next up, Mike, anything for the village attorney report? I don't have anything. Thanks, Mike. George, administrator report.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just to follow up, I know we had a last committee of the whole under audience participation. There was some concerns about air quality, and I just wanted to give a brief update. I know we're going to have some meetings next month in front of our environmental commission. Potentially, we still have to schedule that. We have, you know, a couple quick updates. I've reached out to, I know the mayor, you have too, representatives from Citgo. We've relayed the concerns from the residents, and I know that we've transcribed many of those concerns from the meeting, and I think there were some recordings, and they're taking it seriously. They've told us that, and they're going to be preparing, and they're working on preparing responses to many of those concerns. They are also going to be attending that meeting in November. November 20th, Environmental Commission is going to be there. And members of CITGO are going to be there as well, and also responding to, you know, the flyer that was put out and providing some additional context to some of the data that was presented in that flyer. We're also, I know Chief Lococo and I know the mayor might be around tomorrow too. We're meeting with, at least virtually, with officials from the IEPA to better understand notification protocol. So when there is an event at Citgo, and again, I know the mayor did a great job at that meeting of talking about that we cannot, you know, and will not, you know, respond for Citgo or on behalf of Citgo, because again, we're not in our jurisdiction and we are not Citgo. But you know, we do want to relay concerns that residents have that we have on behalf of residents. But we do, you know, we do want to talk to the IEPA. What is the protocol when there is an event at Citgo in terms of a release or in terms of, you know, when they have a equipment malfunction which causes a flaring? Who do they notify? When do they notify? We don't get the notification. So if it goes to the IEPA, then what? So these are all questions that Chief Lococo are going to have, and I with the IEPA. So these conversations are occurring in real time. And thanks, Chief, for jumping on that project with the IEPA. It's tough to get on their calendar as well. So I don't know if you have anything else, Chief, from your conversations, working with Tom Ballard, our EMA director as well, who's under the weather. But yeah, anything else, Tad?
Well, no, other than he's under the weather, but he's still working and was there
course.
today. So, but as far as the, OAN and Tom Ballard and his credentials to go ahead and, basically follow up on those leads from emails that come in, not to, answer for Citgo or anybody else. Tom tries to track those down based on his training, which he's received some specialized training through the EPA for, to go ahead and measure barometric pressures and wind speeds and to follow up on those things, which, a majority of the time are in industrial areas and either may be related to Citgo or, a bunch of the other industrial companies that are in the area, as well as, 355 itself and, the same type of fumes, benzene and sulfur related to diesel fuel and, the trucks that are passing by. So those same types of concerns are seen, based on wind speed coming out of the east or the southeast that wouldn't be related to those outside of Lamont.
Yeah, and I think that having, representatives from Citgo and at the Environmental Commission meeting, because the chair of our commission, Brian Renke, has access to not only that call data from folks who call in about odors, but also the IEPA data that Citgo has on the fence line monitoring, which is sometimes dated by 2 or 3 months, but, he has that data available to him that he can pull up and discuss that intelligently with residents and talk about what it means. And I think it is valuable because it's complicated and it's complex to look at that data. What does it mean? What does parts per billion for certain chemicals mean? And that's what we hope to get out of those meetings with the chair of our Environmental Commission, who's very well versed in these conversations. Not to speak on behalf of Citgo, but to talk about what some of
Yeah,
these.
I think it's important to know that this information is available and it is looked at by our environmental committees. The IEPA, the federal government, it looks at it. And again, I'm not going to talk on behalf of Citgo. I'm not going to protect, I just say we got to understand when people say, I look at the data or I see this and it doesn't look right. That's what we need to flush out in this meeting. What are people looking at? Because this is public information. And if there was something to be concerned about, trust me, the IEPA and the federal government would be on Citgo and we would know about it. So again, I'm going to leave it at that. We could have that, we'll let Citgo answer the questions that our residents have, as well as our neighbors, and we can go from there. So I believe there's a meeting scheduled, or we're hoping
Yeah, end of November 20th.
November 20th. So that's, again, Brian Renke, he runs those meetings. Brian, again, another volunteer commission member. He looks at that data. Again, this is all public information. So hopefully we could flush out some of the noise where people are giving their opinions on what they're seeing and, stuff doesn't look right. I think those are the things that needs to be flushed out and asked in these meetings, and also just the context as well. Benzene, one of the biggest causes of benzene, someone told me, is people smoking. So again, I don't know, by no means am I an expert on benzene, but these are the questions and the concerns that need to be brought up to Citgo so people understand what's being posted out there, because people are very concerned. They're like, hey, John, what's going on? I'm like, we have the data. It's readily available. We have governmental entities tracking this. And now we just have to flush out the concerns that people have. And again, we'll be doing that later next month. So with that being said, George, anything else on your report? Okay. Next up, any board reports?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor. I know I caught you off guard when I voted absent, but, or abstain, but my son says I vote for everything that goes out here, so I have one abstain on an issue. I wanted to take a moment, sir, to recognize another member of our community that we lost, Steve Rosendahl. Steve was a former trustee and also the chairman, I believe, or the president of the township, or board chairman of the township for Lamont, and a longtime resident, and just an all-around great guy. He passed away last month, I believe. Steve had moved out of the area. He did have some health issues, but he was a big part of Lamont for many years, and I just wanted to acknowledge his passing and offer our condolences to Steve's family.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thanks. Kevin, yeah, I second that as well. Obviously, Steve was most recently our township supervisor before Mike, spoke to us earlier. Steve, longtime Lamonter, always had his best interests. Got the privilege of working with Steve for several years, him as a township, myself as the mayor. So again, condolences to him. We're going to miss him. And, obviously we talked about Barb as well, but, two very, very great friends and great volunteers and great contributors to our town we lost in the same month. So God bless them both. Any other board reports, new business, old business? All right, next up, George, audience participation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is the time of the meeting where if you have audience participation, comments, you can come up to the podium. Jason or Mike, if you want to grab the sign-in sheet, I'll just read off anybody. Just keep in mind, rules apply to the audience participation section, 3 minutes per person, and we do have a maximum 30 minutes for the session. And I will go through. I know you're Robert Peterson.
That's me.
All right, Robertson,
Ready.
go ahead.
Okay. My name is Robert Peterson. I live at 11S 284 Dunham Road. Mr. Mayor, I wanted to follow up on a few points discussed during the last meeting I attended. Regarding the issue of school overcrowding, you mentioned that enrollment was down or implied that student numbers were decreasing. I want to bring to your attention that the school board recently released a video this month that directly contradicts your statements. According to them, our schools are currently at or over capacity with no room to accommodate the existing enrollment, let alone future growth. In light of this, I would suggest a potential solution for the area where Beecham and Dill are proposing a subdivision. Let's refer to it as Copper Ridge West. Why not consider allocating part of that property for new school facilities? This would help accommodate the town's expansion. In turn, the current school properties could potentially be sold and redeveloped into residential areas that are closer to downtown core, improving walkability and student safety. I do not want to see any development on that land, however, but if you feel the need to build on it, then schools is what we need for this town. Additionally, I would like to ask whether you or the village have submitted any FOIA requests to the EPA, Romeoville Township, or Will County regarding the emissions pollution data from CIDCO, because as we know, they're not going to self-report. And talking to representatives, they're just going to blow smoke up your butts. If you haven't, I want to know why this hasn't been pursued. And as you are aware, the corporations don't typically self-report violations, and it's your responsibility to ensure the safety and well-being of Lamont residents through proper oversight. Also, on another matter, during the vote to annex 4 properties adjacent to the bank on Lamont Road into the village, despite opposition from local residents, a representative for the owner, Lenny, stated that most likely a plan to construct a gas station was being considered. While it is said that no formal proposal or rezoning request has been yet submitted, the concern is not whether it's been officially proposed. Our concern lies in the clear indication or intention stated on record, which will inevitably become before you at some point. Please understand that we are engaged as citizens and we're still here paying attention and committed to holding our local government accountable. I understand that repeated community input may seem tiring, but the reality is we would prefer not to constantly appear before you either. However, that choice was taken out of our hands when the concerns of Pleasantdale community were not heard. As the saying goes, you reap what you sow. Furthermore, I was under the impression that you had an outstanding issues with resolving of the Silver Cross building, and that these were to be addressed at a meeting that was ultimately canceled, yet the groundbreaking ceremony took place and a vote was held. Could you clarify how that moved forward despite unresolved matters? And I'm going to wrap up here in just a second. Lastly, what are the plans to the adjacent parking lot next to, or vacant lot next to this building where Steigers used to be? Might be beneficial to consider paving over it for additional parking, given the increasing public attendance at these meetings. Thank you for your time and for limiting public comment to 3 minutes. Imagine what everyone could learn and say if we had 4 or 5.
Thanks, Robert.
Laura Regal?
Good evening, Mayor and Board of Trustees. My name's Laura Regal. Ordinances, procedures, processes. Every time we come to the meeting, we hear these words being mentioned. They're supposed to have meaning. They're supposed to be followed. If you don't understand them as a trustee, you're supposed to ask questions as a trustee at the meeting regarding the ordinances, processes, or procedures that are being brought forth to this community, to the people here that are listening to them. We keep listening to them over and over again. You voted on some tonight. Yet, there was a groundbreaking on 10/15 of 2025 for the Silver Cross Medical Building. Yet tonight was the final vote for that building, approval vote that went through this board. So I have to ask, if groundbreaking or construction activity begins before a final vote or approval by a village board, zoning board, or planning commission, it can raise serious legal and procedural issues. Groundbreaking refers to any activity suggesting the site of the construction. As I drove by tonight, fencing's put up. The picture shows construction vehicles in the site at the groundbreaking. If this happens before final governing body vote, village board, trustees, or county board, it typically means the project is not legally authorized. The developer's acting on their own. Municipalities have a strict zoning, permitting, and procedural rules. Starting work before final approval can violate local zoning ordinances, building or grade permits, or requirements. So it drives a lot of concern. You keep telling us there's processes, there's procedures, there's things in place that need to be followed. But yet when we look, we're not seeing things in place that are being followed, including on our website. We have a guy who is showing that Gas and Wash keeps violating the ordinances that this board voted on, put in place to be followed, and will not help their own residents with those ordinances. They call the police, they get nothing. The board's been put on record and sent his complaints, pictures, photos, everything has been sent to you. But there still has been no action from this board, no conversation publicly regarding what this residents' concerns are. Please address these. We all are concerned about them. And not just us, benzene and these chemicals that are shown in these photos are everybody's concern in the community.
Thank you, Mrs. Regal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sarah Alvestead?
Hi, I'm Sarah Alvestad. I live at 11 South 326 Carpenter Street. And first of all, I would just want to address what the mayor said about cigarettes. Cigarettes is one of the leading, benzene from cigarettes is one of the leading causes of death or pollution for the people smoking them, not for the environment at large. I also wanted to talk directly about the traffic problems regarding this truck stop proposal. I've taken it upon myself to FOIA many different public records from IDOT and DUDOT, and I've spent my own personal time talking to engineers that specialize in traffic so I can learn more. And I really hope that you pay attention because I'm going to walk you through some things that you really need to know. First of all, the average annual daily traffic for 97th Street and Lamont Road is in 2024 was 21,700 cars. For I-55, north and southbound, it's 130,800. Okay, so keep that in mind. So that's a lot of traffic. And first of all, this intersection here is not built to hold that traffic, okay? Secondly, this light here at this intersection is not meant to hold that traffic. To replace it would cost $250,000 to $500,000, all right? Also, the short distance from these exits here, this distance is too short and it's too dangerous to have all this traffic merge. At the end of the northbound I-55 exit to this intersection is a field goal. That's how short it is. This intersection is not able to accommodate stacking, storage, any of these kneeling, any of these traffic terms that directly mean the amount of traffic that sits on the road. Any tiny piece of property that you could possibly widen the road is right here in between the frontage road that leads to Woodward and Lamont Road. That's it. It's currently been used for drainage, and that's all the wiggle room that you would have. If you attempt, just talking strictly about this area right here where the annexation is, if you were to propose a right in, right out, a semi would need a clear sight line, and you are forcing trucks to shoot the gap, and this is extremely dangerous. If you were to propose, which would be so foolish, a left in and a left out option, every truck would need a 10-second turn gap. That's not going to happen in rush hour. I want to be very clear, and I know this for a fact, and you can do your own work, and I'd be happy to talk to you personally. I'd be happy to walk out there and show you. There is no clear engineering solution for this proposal. There is no clear enforcement solution for this proposal. This proposal, from a traffic standpoint,
Sarah, gotta wrap, we're done. Yeah.
is reckless and negligent.
No, Sarah, no. Carol Levis.
My name's Carol Levis. I live at 19W 675 97th Street. This is my house. I am the first house west of Lamont National Bank at 97th and Lamont Road. You can see how close I am to the 4 lots that have been annexed. So needless to say, my talk is about gas and wash. So I went to the planning and zoning meeting a couple weeks ago. I went to your whole meeting last Monday, which was very informative. So, and I've been reading articles and looking up minutes from the meetings, and, sorry. Okay, can you hear me? Okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. So in one of the, I think maybe the minutes or an article, we're supposed to separate emotion from reality, because I believe there was hooting and hollering going on, which I do not condone. So I will stick to reality. Lenny was involved with Gas City. They went bankrupt 2011. 2012, they started up their gas and washes. So in the minutes from one of these meetings, that's just a fact I want to throw out there. In one of the meetings, I printed off the audience participation. There was a representative from the DuPage Hazardous Task Force that said gas stations are hazmat sites causing cancer and other danger. I don't know what more you need to know. I kind of just thought, well, what more can be said? But I will continue on. There is a petition, one or more, that has probably at least 2,500 signatures against the gas and wash. And I know people who actually live in Lamont that have signed that petition. So they are not for this as well. It's not only the residents of Pleasantdale. And it was stated, you guys have a responsibility to Gas and Wash to listen to their proposal. Did they actually give a proposal of what they plan on doing? Is there going to be gambling? Is there going to be food? Is there going to be a car wash, et cetera, et cetera? My understanding is no, they have not. So, okay, my next point, there's an environmental committee in Lamont. Was this presented to them? Did you get their opinion on putting a gas station in a residential area, or what their feelings are? The meeting last week was very informative. I didn't realize how bad the air quality was in Lamont.
Carol. Yeah,
Okay,
3
I
minutes.
will be back.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carol.
Thank you. Bob Peters. Bob. No, Bob.
I know, he's not good with public
Okay.
speaking. I was wondering if I could read his statement then.
No.
No? Okay.
You can enter it into the record.
Enter it. You could drop it off, though.
You can enter it into the
Enter
record.
it, though. Mary Elena Cordova, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Marlena Cordova Pardun. I have been coming here for several times. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I thought she said she couldn't. Okay. And I have seen and hear the concerns of our neighbors. For some people, it's stressful, some people, it's not. It is difficult sometimes for me to talk in public, but I do talk from the heart, and I do know about facts. But what I keep hearing as a repeated theme is like, why are you allowing this even prospect of a gas station proposal or ghost proposal, because it seems like it's nowhere, but it's creeping up, to be even talked about? Why is it that it seems like the neighbors, not only in Pleasantdale, but from the other Lenny's Gas and Wash station, they're not being listened to? And the facts are, they're not being listened to. I'm puzzled. But I think, again, and I have to remind myself about not repeating myself with the same words, but this is really true. What's in your heart? Because that's the only reason I can figure out what's happening. If there's nothing in your heart, if you have your own goals and your own mindset, that's fine. But then again, I always go back to, who is our neighbor? Who is our neighbor? Well, we can go by our own feelings, by our own thoughts. It's people who we like. We can have neighbors that we don't like. If we go by our own standards, everybody would have their own different standards. Everybody would have their own ethical and moral compass. But we are not that way. At least here in America, we have our roots that go way beyond Western civilization can really account for. So I'm gonna bring this up. Who gave us the parable of the Good Samaritan? Okay, maybe nobody heard it. It's a stranger who stopped by and helped someone to get better. He had no obligation, out of his pocket, he did it. What is the contrast of a Good Samaritan? Well, we have Judas Iscariot, who sold out his best friend for money. That was the worst one. But another one that I like to emphasize is Pontius Pilate. Who was Pontius Pilate? What did he do that deserved 2,000 years later to be reminded as a name for a dog and not as a politician that he was? Who? Because when they came to him for problems and they wanted it to be solved, what did he do? He just washed his hands, didn't want to hear about it. Let somebody else deal with it.
And thank you. All right.
Thank you.
And that's it for audience
Thank you,
participation. Thank
Mary
you.
Ellen.
Yeah. No, and you came in late. You want to? Yeah, I think you just came in late. Just get one more, and that's it. 'Cause you came in late. That's fine.
You have her name?
Yeah. Make sure you state your name clear for the record. That's it.
Well,
Thank you.
Okay.
My first name is Lauren, last name Cook, and I live at 20W281 Pleasantdale Drive. With each meeting that I come to, I do feel I'm learning a lot from you as representatives and from our community as a whole, which I feel is fantastic for transparency and for advocating for all of us for the betterment. Within these meetings, there is some relief and some concerns that are brought up with each topic. Some of those topics, like water today, we brought up and at the last meeting, and about how fantastic it is to be on well water, which I agree. I was raised on well water. And I moved into Lamont, we're on well water. We're on shallow wells, though, in the Pleasantdale area, so we have to be conscious of what is coming and our water pollution. I would love if we were on a super deep well, but we are not part of that. So we have to be conscious of that, and that is a fear of that water pollution for us. As far as with the benzene, having those warning systems, which I do greatly appreciate you guys looking into addressing, because my child does go to school in Lamont. As far as we live in Lamont, looking at that from a safety aspect, we do appreciate that. One of the concerns, though, with one of your guys' last statements was we don't have enough government people working, so how seriously are they taking that? And that was made by you guys as a committee. So we need you to keep pushing for us, because the squeaky wheel gets work done. So if it's not squeaking, we're not going to get the oil. So as far as with transparency being so important, I just don't want us to fall into one of those ruts of when smoking was the huge, most popular thing. It wasn't hurting anybody. Doctors were smoking inside of the hospitals even. Everything was great until it wasn't. We don't want to be part of the until it wasn't group. So we want to advocate for ourselves now and push for that transparency and push for making sure we're looking for the safety of our future. So we appreciate your guys' time and all the effort and help you guys are putting into it, and hope you guys can continue with that. Thank you.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you. That concludes public comment. And the reason, the 3 minutes, the 30 minutes is because the item's not on the agenda, and that's why we do it the way we do it. If and when the item is on the agenda, there will not be restrictions like that on public comment, and there will be plenty of traffic studies, IEPA studies, US EPA studies. There'll be the state fire marshal will weigh in. There will be stormwater studies, sanitary sewer studies, right, Jason? How many studies will there be? There'll be so many studies that Jason will have to take 3 days off of comp time for a project that of this nature. So I think that's why there are requirements of this nature of 3 minutes and 30 minutes because the item is not on the agenda. So, and that's why we have to do it this way. So I'll turn it over to you,
Yep.
Mr. Mayor.
So, again, going back to Gas and Wash, obviously, they have not submitted. So, you know, as far as, is there truck stops, is there, again, we won't know until they actually submit that. Couple other things, school student population was brought up. Very important thing you missed there. When I talk about the school population, I'm talking about not only the public, but St. El, St. Pat, Everest Academy, St. Cyril, Lithuanian. You have to add in all of those, okay? What we've seen is a big reduction on the private side. And if you add them all up together, it is not actually going up total Lamont. Now, the public schools are going up. They're going up by, 400 or 500. And I mentioned last time that it's going up 400 or 500. One of two big movements of that, and I'm not going to talk on behalf of the school district. They have the numbers better than I do. I just look at what's out there on the public Illinois databases. The big movement in student population at the public side, again, talk to them, but we've seen pre-K go up. They now have pre-K. They've never had pre-K. I think there's at least 50 to 70 to 80 kids in there. They've never had it. So they now have pre-K. They never had full-day kindergarten. They now have full-day kindergarten. And I know my daughter, when she was 2 years, 11 months, and 20 days old, we were trying to get her in. We put her into a private school because we needed someone to look after her and have the care. So I think what you're seeing is a migration of students coming out of the private schools. There's various reasons for that. It's at the state level. There's a lot of grants that used to be granted, especially to inner city kids to go to private school. That's now been taken away at the state level. That impacts our enrollments at the private schools as well. I sit on the St. L. St. Pat board, and we've seen dramatic decreases. You see dramatic decreases at St. Cyril over the years. So when I say it's gone down, I'm talking about public and private together has gone down. The public has actually jumped up. So I just want to be very clear on that. And I actually have a meeting set up with a couple of their board members. I'm sure they'll want to talk about that as well. We've talked about that with them before. There is public information out there, though, on enrollments, though. There are some missing pieces in there. You'll see they went 3 or 4 years without reporting, but you could see the trend, and you could see each of those individual private schools as well. Also, Silver Cross. Silver Cross went through preliminary PUD approvals. They can't start building until the final. Were they doing some prelim work out there under prelim PUD? Again, that is something that is their prerogative. So again, just want to make sure people understand that. And I mean, is there anything else to add there, Mike or Jason?
They were approved at a preliminary level, but all the entitlements were approved.
Yeah. So just make sure people understand that this was talked about. Maybe you missed those other public meetings, but this was talked at length, and it was approved from a preliminary standpoint. The other items, I think we've have covered these before. Sir, you mentioned the traffic issues. Thank you for putting that time and effort in. Again, we'll get, if they do submit and when they submit, there will be a full traffic study done. So, and I think I nailed everything else. Again, CITGO, the FOIA. Actually, believe it or not, the way the federal government works, they do self-report. When I say they self-report to the federal government. They have to. The federal government is then up to them to review that data. And again, I'm not going to talk on behalf of CITGO. They keep telling me, they're like, John, why would I ever want to, criminally be arrested or charged by falsifying self-reported items? But again, I'm going to leave that to them. I'm not going to talk on behalf of them. But we've had several conversations on this. Just want to make sure, we've had contacts with them, various meetings over the years. This dates back. It seems to come up every couple of years. And again, we always are in touch with them. Again, we have, our environmental committee. They do track those reports. But come November, what other, specific questions you have, we can address it there as well. So I think that, those were the topics. And again, the gas and wash, if and when they do submit, a lot of that will hopefully, not hopefully, if they do submit, those items will be covered. All right, so that is it for the audience participation. Do we have executive session tonight, Mike? We do not. Okay, so we do not. All right, with that being said, want to thank everyone for coming out. Appreciate your input. Again, we want to wish both Steve Rosendahl and Barb Bushman our thoughts and prayers to them and their families. Thanks again for coming out. Have a great week. Have a safe Halloween. And we will see you not next Monday, but the second, November 10th. So see you then. Thank you. Need a motion to adjourn, please.
Second.
Okay, motion by trustee Snagowski, seconded by trustee McClafferty. Roll call, please.
Okay, McClafferty.
Yes.
Shaughnessy.
Yes.
Snagowski.
Yes.
Stapleton.
Yes.
Horsley.
Yes.
And Kittredge. Thank you.
All right, motion approved. We are done for this evening. Thank you.